Good afternoon, softball fans, fastball fans worldwide. Welcome to the 2026 Chiefs Challenge here in Lions Park, Simcoe, Ontario. It is a glorious Saturday afternoon here at the Chiefs Challenge. Blair Sedford with you on Softball Premier TV. We're up into the mid-20s, pushing the upper limit here. Here is the batting lineup for the visiting team, the Northeast Drillers. It'll be Teo Migliavaca leading things off, and Zach Shaw. Blaine Milheim bats third, Riley Macchia, Jordan Solorio, Thomas Anoka. Back in the lineup for the Drillers, Rogelio Sequeira, Juan Zero, and the newcomer, David Diaz, for the Drillers in the 9 spot. Defensively, for the Bear Creek Express, Yusuf Davis is in center, Yasuki Morita, Alan Salgado in left and right. Around the horn, Cody Panabecker, David Galino, Angel Adamas, and Luiger Pinto is at first base for Bear Creek. It is the young phenom, Carlos Parra, on the board, and he'll be pitching to the veteran, Rafa Flores, behind the plate for the Express. What a great guy to learn from if you are Carlos Parra. You are bursting onto the scene fresh off a bronze medal at the U23 World Cup down in Sincelejo in Colombia. You're the rising star, the emerging ace for Mexico, who are going to be a powerhouse on the international scene. And then you get to come pitch to Rafa Flores on your club team. That is pretty good stuff. In with a hard drop. 82, we're going to see Carlos Parra into the 80s. He's got a terrific changeup, too. At the plate, Teo Migliavaca, veteran of the Argentina national team. He's been with this Drillers squad for several years at the top of the shop. Does a little bit of catching, but primarily out in center field. I know it's 4:25 Eastern. These are the 3:15, 3 o'clock hour games that are ongoing. Just a little bit behind on most of the diamonds. We'll get you caught up on all the action here at the 2026 Chiefs Challenge. Expecting a real good one in this one here with the Drillers and the Express. Number 3 and number 4 in the rankings that came out at the end of May. 3-1 to Migliavaca. He was 5 for 16 last weekend at the Canada East qualifier. Drillers finishing out of the semifinals. This one is poured in for a strike. Bear Creek and the Drillers, both of them tying for 5th. Drillers knocked out by JDT. The Express were upset by the Toronto Batmen. And fouled off by Migliavaca. Carlos Parra, 9 innings at Mitchell last week. Was not the winner or the loser. Here's a little flare out to left. Coming hard to make the grab out in left field is Yusuke Morita, Japan national team player. Parra gave up 6 hits in the 9 innings, 3 runs, all of them earned, 23 strikeouts. Count them, 23 in 9 innings. It's pretty impressive. Making his debut on the international club team circuit. This is his 3rd tournament, 3rd go-around. Zach Shaw at the plate. United States national team. He'll be the heir apparent, I think, for shortstop with the retirement of Cam Schiller. There's a rise ball, misses out of the zone. Watch how explosive Carlos Parra is off the board. This is the perfect view for it from behind, from that center field shot. He explodes off the board, and then the ball gets on you in a hurry. Looking down at the PitchCom device, and he and Flores cannot get onto the same page, so time called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Justin Van Horn, Mike Morrissey, and Dave Jackson are the blue crew. Took something off that one, all the way down to 58, and got a strike on the outside corner. Good location from Carlos Parra. Swing and a miss. He saw Flores creep outside, and Shaw can't get that one. So the first strikeout of the game for Carlos Parra. Just zips that one right past on the outside corner. You see on pitch track, 80 miles an hour from young Carlos Parra. Just 21 years old. Here's Blaine Milheim. Change up, keeps the hands back, and pops that out to right field. Will bluff on the turn, but a good base hit by Blaine Milheim. Keeping the hands back and taking that change up the opposite way. Now, whatever you're doing at home, stop. Stop, whatever it is, and watch. You do not want to miss Riley Machia's at-bats. First pitch, ground ball. Well, okay. Pick over at first base by Luiger Pinto. Cody Pannebecker. Normally they're a little bit more spectacular there from Riley Machia. Maybe the buildup was too much. Who knows? But through 1 complete, we are scoreless. Northeast Drillers and Bear Creek Express just getting underway here at the Chiefs Challenge on Softball Premier TV. Well, I had us through 1 complete, but that was just the top of the first. We'll go to the bottom half, and there is the Bear Creek lineup that you're going to see here. Yusuke Morita, Angel Adames, Ty Sebastian. So you go Japan, Venezuela, Canada. Back to Venezuela for Luiger Pinto, Rafa Flores, Alan Salgado. David Galino, Cody Pannebecker's in the 8th spot, and Yusuf Davis bats 9th for the Bear Creek Express. Defensively for the Northeast Drillers, Teo Migliavaca in center, Blaine Milheim and Jordan Solorio left and right. Around the horn, Rogelio Sequeira, Zach Shaw, David Diaz, and Thomas Anoka back on the field for the Drillers. Did not play last weekend. Nowell Signs is the starter for the Drillers, and behind the plate, Juan Zera. Thomas Anoka had a bruise in the webbing between his index finger and thumb. That looks like it's healed. He's back out on the field. Looks to be in phenomenal shape. Thomas Anoka. Slimmer and trimmer than I have seen him ever looking good out there. Tommy Guns. Yusuke Morita signs 14 innings last weekend. Did not pick up a win or a loss. Gave up 13 hits, 7 earned runs, 12 strikeouts in the 14 innings, a 3.5 ERA. That one misses downstairs from Signs. Yusuke Morita, you watch this batting stance, real crouched over. Open up the stance, then step into it. It's almost like he explodes into the ball. Swing and a miss there. Good drop ball from Signs. All 3 pitches. Didn't have a great U23 World Cup event for Argentina. That one misses downstairs. Argentina, as we've talked about, finished 8th at that U23 event. And this one's in for a strike. Yusuke batted .333, just 2 for 6. Couple of singles. Also had a couple of walks last week at the Canada East qualifier in Mitchell. And that one, ball 4. So a leadoff walk for Morita. And he'll have a couple of words for Angel Adames before he makes his way down. Adames, a newcomer. He really impressed at the World Cup for Venezuela last year. Venezuela coming away as the champions. The Drillers' defense in from third is Sequeira, but Shaw, little deep, gets the bunt down. Sequeira throws out Adames at first, and boy, he is something quick. Rogelio Sequeira had a quick look at second base, and then he had to hustle the throw to get Angel Adames, but a nice sack bunt. Ty Sebastian, the reigning ISC World Champion MVP, or World Tournament MVP. And just voted the player of the half decade by you, the fans. Appreciate everybody who's been participating in those online voting exercises. We've been naming the fans' choice for team, player, and pitcher of the decades, all the way from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, into the 2000s, 2010s, and now the 2020s. Team of the half decade was the New York, now Bear Creek Gremlins. So we're going to take all of those teams from all of those different decades. We're going to shuffle them up. We're going to put them into a single elimination bracket. And then you're going to get to vote who is your favorite in each of those matchups. We'll work our way through the bracket to the final 2. And then we will tell you who is the fan's choice. Sebastian lifts this one up. Deep right field and gone. A valiant effort out there in right field by Jordan Solorio, but he got hung up in that collapsible fence. And Ty Sebastian, with a 2-run home run, propels the Express to a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. It's a collapsible fence, and looked like Solorio got hung up on it a little bit. But Sebastian gave that a ride to right field and gets the Express out to an early 2-0 lead. In for a strike to Luigi Pinto. Several players here in the game from Venezuela, and we want to extend our best wishes to all the citizens in Venezuela. Hopefully, families are safe after those earthquakes earlier this week, and the damage looks severe to a number of buildings. We hope nobody's ball player families injured or worse in any of that. Misses downstairs from Signs to Zara. Huemo Mata tweaked a knee on Friday night for the Drillers. He hit a double off the fence, and that drove in the game's only run in that particular contest, as the Drillers were 1-0 winners. But he hasn't pitched or appeared since, so holding out Huemo Mata as a precaution. Good rise ball from Signs there. Gets it past Luis Pinto. A World the last couple of years with the Express. A couple of years back, led the tournament in RBIs. Here's a little flare out to right. And coming across, Solorio makes the grab there for the second out of the inning. Just to finish the story, Pinto tied for the tournament lead in RBIs with Jonathan Lynch, who is here with JDT. Rafa Flores to the plate. Got the shoes to match the protective equipment he wears when he's behind the plate. Bright yellow. Joe Todd quipped that if the lights went out, we still would have been able to play with that bright yellow gear. Flores fouls that one off. He has been around the game for just about as long as I can remember. Did a stint pre-COVID with the then New York Gremlins. Was with JB most recently. Took last season off and then reappeared here with the Bear Creek Express. And what a great addition, especially, again, being able to handle a young pitcher like Carlos Parra. The confidence that he'll be able to have pitching to a veteran like Flores should just be off the charts. Loves to call his own game from the batter's box, too. Yes, no, mostly no. Pops this one up on the infield. Fading back is Zach Shaw with a foot on the grass to haul that down for the final out, the bottom of the first inning. Ty Sebastian, a 2-run home run, gets the Express out to a 2-0 lead here. We'll go to the top of the second. Northeast Drillers will come back to the plate. Dribblers here in the second inning. Now trailing 2-0. Blaine Milheim, the first hit of the game for the Drillers in the first, but got no further. Long look down at PitchCom for Carlos Parra. And then slings this one in up above the letters for ball one. 75 on the rise ball. The rise ball is always going to be a couple miles an hour slower than the drop. We've seen Parra pour in the drop, 82, 83. He was really tough under the lights in Mitchell last weekend. A low rise this time. So 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one will miss upstairs. Solorio in his third year with the Drillers. What a find this guy is, he and his brother Emiliano. Both of them bright futures for Mexico, and you put them together with Parra, David Diaz, who's playing second base for the Drillers. Some other real exciting young players. And Mexico looks set to potentially dominate here in men's fast pitch the next few years. They're going to have lots of competition without a doubt. Australia and some others. Marco Diaz will make sure that the Americans are in that mix. Solorio 357 last weekend, 5 for 14. Solorio will get the gloves done up. Wouldn't want to have them come off in the middle of your swing. And he'll reach out, foul that one out of play. The Drillers bench. Everybody's clapping away on the Drillers, almost like it's a soccer game over there. Change up. Solorio keeps the hands back and lines that one out to right field. Big turn at first, and Salgado gets that one back in quickly. And I wonder if this is a case here where the Drillers are sitting on the changeup a little bit. That's a couple now that have been knocked out for base hits the opposite way. Tommy Anoka, one of the best in the ISC World Tournament over the last 15 or so years. Boy, they really brought the pom-poms today, did the Drillers. That one's in for a strike. Watches that one sail by upstairs. Thomas, the leading hitter at last year's ISC World Tournament. Way up in the air. That's going to get through the infield as Galino was shaded over towards second. First to third goes Solorio. So Inoka gets on board with his. Back-to-back singles have runners at the corners for the Drillers. Nobody down, top of the second inning. Rogelio Sequeira, veteran from Venezuela. Ron Hackett, the manager for Team USA, the men's national team. Back-to-back bronze medals at the last couple of World Cups. And after the two-run home run in the bottom of the inning by Sebastian, the Drillers looking to get back on even terms. That's a dead ball at the plate. The other games in this cycle, Sandlot, they were trailing the Gremlins 1-0 early. Julian Fernandez and Kuba Osichka, the pitchers in that one. Toronto Batmen and Townsend Tide, Riley Mannion and Kazuki Ishizaki for the Tide. Just off the outside corner. You'll see Flores very active behind the plate. He will move in, move out, set up the target. And misses down low again. Got to be careful to Sequeira. Five for 13 last week for the Drillers. He was their leading hitter. And to the screen. Flores still quick as a cat behind the plate. He picked that up, no chance for Solorio. Anoka up to second, so a pair of runners now in scoring position for Rogelio Sequeira. Full count. What a great addition to the lineup for the Drillers. Chases one in the dirt, gets away from Flores. Solorio will come in to score, and Sequeira aboard on the, I guess we got to call it a pass ball. Tommy Anoka up to third. And Juan Zera to the plate, the fine catcher for the Northeast Drillers. Juan, All-World again last year. First pitch to Zera, tries to hold up, and they're going to ask, and yes, he does on the attempted check swing, but couldn't hold it back. Mike Morrissey is the first base umpire. Dave Jackson down at third. Justin Van Horn behind the plate. Just about as good a blue crew as you're going to find. Zera lays off that one, just off the outside corner, maybe a bit high as well. Keep an eye on Sequeira. Ron Hackett just ran through a whole bunch of signs. That one misses down low. As a base runner, you've got to be careful when you're out there with Rafa Flores behind the dish. He will whistle one down. And if you're a foot off the base, you're going to get caught. On the move there, and now trying to scamper back is Sakara. Solorio never really got far off the bag at third. And Sakara, a bit of a look down to Solorio, wondering why he didn't get further off the bag. He did everything he could to try and get that opportunity going, but Mike Morrissey and Doug Eit exchanging pleasantries. Ron Hackett is going to amble across the field, and he's going to ask about that play. And while we chat, Ty Sebastian will make his way out of the third base dugout, and he is going to go pitch to Jack Burt down the left field line. So a 2-2 count. Helio Sakara, caught stealing. I won't try to give you everybody involved in the rundown. Sorry, it's Tommy Anoka down at third. I was saying Solorio, but it's Tommy Anoka at third. That one misses downstairs to Juan Zera. Three and two on Zera. And chases the rise ball upstairs for strike three. Two down now in the inning, and we'll go to David Diaz. Now, he and Parra, teammates on that Mexican U23 squad. And I hear that team, for the most part, stays together, plays together. Diaz, shortstop on that team, and he is really good at short. Chases from his teammate up here. Great pickup by the Drillers, getting David Diaz. Lays off the rise ball this time. See, Parra has picked up the pace a little, 80 on the rise ball. And that's a dead ball at the plate. Dave Jackson called that from third, as did Van Horn. One ball, two strikes. And that's a drop ball that misses downstairs, so make it 2-2. Pinto, 2 steps behind the bag at first. Adames is deep. Galino, normal depth. Right on the corner, strike 3. David Diaz, frozen at the plate. Drillers get one back. They close the gap. They make it 2-1 in the top of the second inning. We'll go to the home half. Bear Creek Express still out in front.
inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say, as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Alan Salgado, David Galino, and Cody Pannebecker. Mexico, Venezuela, and USA for the Bear Creek Express. You get an overhead look there at Lions Park in Simcoe, Ontario. What an absolute gorgeous day. Tailor-made. Couldn't ask for anything better. Line shot and snagged by Diaz. Holy smokes, was that hit on the screws by Alan Salgado, and Johnny on the spot, David Diaz. Whoo! .93 exit velocity, and right man, right time, Diaz. That turned him right around on the grab as he reached up over his right shoulder to snare that hot shot. Galino has hit up and down the Express order in his, I think now 4th year with the Express. There's a high hopper and race to the bag, and getting there ahead of Galino is Thomas Anoka. Thomas has been very versatile in his career. He's played some second base, first base, left field, right field. Done some pitching over the years. Another one of those Swiss Army knife guys. Signs works the changeup into Pannebecker. Fouls that one straight back to the screen. Was limited duty for Cody last week. Just 167. 1 for 3. Sorry, 1 for 6. Just misses off the outside corner with the off speed. Full count to Pannebecker, 2 down in the inning. 8 batter in the order for the Express, and swings over the top. And a 3-up, 3-down inning for Nowell Signs and the Drillers. And to complete, it is the Express 2 and the Drillers 1. Back to the top of the shop with Teo Migliavaca for the Drillers. Defensive change for the Express. Pannebecker is out at third base, and Kynan Molinger is in. Kynan, a member of the Aussie U23 squad, silver medalist at the recent World Cup at the end of April. Migliavaca thought about the bunt. And there, a strike to the outside corner evens up the count. Migliavaca, Shaw, and Milheim. One, two, three in the order for the Drillers. Christiansburg, Virginia. I'm going to assume that that's a bit of a suburb of Richmond. They were based last year out of Richmond, Virginia. Ron Hackett, the coach, primary sponsor for this Drillers squad, he and wife Amy. Keeping this team going. Just off the outside corner. In a debate where this one missed. You see it here on the replay. It's outside. Flores catches it above the knee. Migliavaca chases after this one, and down on strikes he goes. Fourth of the game for young Carlos Parra. Parra Sr. is the coach of that Mexican U23 team, and one of the key takeaways for me coming out of that bronze medal game was the stare down between the Mexican team and the New Zealand U23 Black Sox. They finished the haka, the ceremonial challenge that the Black Sox traditionally make, and nobody wanted to leave the field. The Black Sox stood in place. Mexico were lined up down the first baseline, and they did not move. And it was just eye contact and a staring contest. Ultimately, the home plate umpire, Pat Hazelton, from Nova Scotia, he walked down the first base line, and I talked to Pat afterwards. He said, I gave them another 10 seconds, and then I told both teams to go. And I'm sure there'll be some kind of rule or some kind of regulation brought in to deal with that situation in the future, but boy, was it something. Chases down and away for second straight strikeout here. 4 in a row now for Carlos Parra as he's getting into a groove as we get into the third inning. Blaine Milheim thought that was down, but got a strike called on him. Chopper on the infield again. Milheim can't beat it out. Good play over there at short from Galino. And a 1-2-3 inning for Carlos Parra and the Express, the top of the third. We'll go to the home half. Express will look to build on this 2-1 lead here on Softball Premier TV, the 2026 Chiefs Challenge.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
Yusuf Davis, 9-batter in the order for the Bear Creek Express. Now, Signs, third inning of work here. A little chopper on the infield. Have to hurry. And they get him with the glove. David Diaz, the glove shovel pass over to Thomas Anoka. And that's a heads-up play for a young player. Yusuf Davis. Lots of speed down there at the bottom of the order. Yusuke Morita, he's got more at the top. David Diaz just continues to impress. In for a strike to Morita. Thought maybe that was outside. Tried the changeup, but just up in the zone to Morita. 3-1 to the leadoff batter for the Express. Two hopper, this time out to Diaz, and an easy, soft-handed throw over to Anoka. Just smooth on the transfer. No hurry, no panic. Pair of ground balls so far. On to get Ladamas for Bear Creek. On the outside corner, in for a strike. Ladamas sacrifice bunt in the first. Throwback to the days of slap hitters. Watch his his front foot, his right foot. He will step back and almost out of the box and then get back in. and just tried to beat this one into the ground, but it's foul behind them. Sakara came all the way down in behind the plate to get that for Juan Zera. Got a pat on the back as Zera did not know where it had gone to. One ball, 2 strikes. That one just misses up high to Adames. Fouls it straight back, rattles our home plate camera. The prior game, Luciano Lafrano was up on the desk fixing that, and the next warm-up pitch came in and completely undid all the good work that Luciano had done. He gave a look, a dagger look, out to the mound. Off the glove of Signs, who deflects it away from Zach Shaw. Adames on the move up to second will, on the seat of his pants, scramble back to second base. But that's how quick he is. Tough break there for Signs as he deflected that away from Shaw. He would have had to hurry, but I think that's a routine ground ball ultimately for Zach Shaw. You see it here. And you just got to fight the urge to go after that one and just leave it alone. Hi, Sebastian went over to the left box because Ron Hackett is out here talking to Justin Van Horn about Adames stepping out of the box. My understanding is he can step out of the box and he comes back in. It's where he makes contact with the ball. He's got to be in the box when he makes contact. You have to start in the box, absolutely. But I'm a little bit unclear on whether he can step out and then back in. It was not a problem last weekend. There was no issue with umpires calling him out of the box last weekend. I'm pretty sure that's what the discussion is about, just based on what Zara is saying. Sebastian, anyway, he went over and just tried to cover up the tracks, and Ron Hackett shooed him back into the right side batter's box. So now we just got a quick conversation between the 3 umpires. Mike Morrissey would be the senior guy out there. He's worked World Cups. He's worked Pan Am Games. And then just going to report back to Ron Hackett. So a runner out on second base. Sebastian, that 2-run home run, that's the difference in the game right now. That was in the first. Isiki Morita had walked. Signs a little look behind him there after delivering the pitch. And that one misses down and in. Luiger Pinto is about as far away from the home plate area as you can get. He is down there parallel with Paul Sebastian in the third base coach's box. He's the on-deck batter. And missing down low, 3-1 now to Sebastian. Swing and a miss. Sebastian goes hard after the rise ball. Full count, 2 down here in the inning. Angeladamas out at second base. And a little 3-hopper in and out of the glove of Diaz. And he recovers and makes the throw from his backside. So a trio of ground balls to Diaz. The last one a bit of an adventure. But he recovers, and through 3 complete, it remains 2-1 for the Bear Creek Express. Got the 4th underway here for you. Bear Creek Express, Northeast Drillers. Riley Macchia at the plate for the Drillers. Hit the first pitch to third baseman. Well, at the time it was Cody Pannebecker. It's now Kynan Molander. That one in for a strike. Macchia thought that was a little low and outside. And chases after the rise ball. Can't catch up to that one at 78. Macchia, one of the most prolific home run hitters in the game today. Key member of that silver medalist Black Sox squad from last summer. And chases a drop ball here, down on strikes, leading off the 4th. Catch up on some of the scores. Right now, the Bear Creek Gremlins behind Kuba Osichka are out in front of the Sandlot Merchants. They've got Julian Fernandez on the board. It's 4-0 for the Gremlins in the 4th there. Townsend Tide, who went tooth and nail with the Gremlins earlier today on the short end of a 4-1 score, and they deserved a little bit better. Probably maybe should have only been 2-1. But right now they're trailing 1-0 to the Toronto Batmen. That one's in the 6th. Riley Mannion with the shutout going for the Batmen, and Ishizaki for Townsend Tide, putting in a much better performance today. He got roughed up yesterday by Sandlot. Townsend in some real competitive games here this weekend. Had a good weekend in Mitchell at the Canada East qualifier last weekend. And following it up here with some good ball games. They played Saskatoon Jacks to a 5-5 draw That was Thursday night down the road in Jarvis. Saskatoon came out early. They played the Hill United Chiefs in the opener on that doubleheader, and Townsend tied late. Hara gets that one over for a strike. Jordan Solorio is at the dish. He's got the game's only run for the Drillers, singled, and came around on a wild pitch. This one in for a strike, so full count to Solorio. Flores will slow walk out to go see Para. This is like one of those scenes from Bull Durham where Crash Davis would go out and talk to the rookie. Three and two. Line shot, and Pinto dances in front of that one to make the grab. You can see Luis Pinto there intercepting that one. Inoka dancing out of the way of that opener from Para. Singled, got around as far as third, and not sure he and Rogelio Sequeira were on the same page after that rundown. Just high. Two and one to Inoka. And make it 2-2. We've been talking about all of those stats. Thomas Inoka, number 2 in on-base percentage at .531. And batting average, number 5 on the list, actually. By the time I eliminate a couple of these Legends players, he's number 2 on the list behind Jerome Remicke in the ISC World Tournament over the last dozen or so years. Thomas Inoka batting .414, a very lofty .414, the ISC World Tournament career average. Two-out walk here. Get us down to Rogelio Sequeira. Struck out but reached on the pass ball. Sequeira, gap hitter. Inoka still runs well. That one misses inside to Sequeira. Para really almost turns sideways at times on certain pitches and really try to work the rotation on the ball. Little flare down the right side. That's going to be caught Oh my goodness! Out of nowhere comes Angela Damas to make a diving catch out of nowhere. I literally had the words that's going to fall out of my mouth. Watch Adamas and a snow cone and keeps it in the glove. What a play. Wow, I'm still marveling over that catch by Ariel Adamas to end the fourth for the Drillers. We'll go to the home half. Uyghur Pinto will lead things off. He'll be followed by Rafa Flores and Alan Salgado. What a marvelous play. In for a strike to the outside corner. Run at 2-1 on Uyghur Pinto. Flied out to right field. A little bit of action down in the Drillers bullpen. That's Matias Echeverris. Two balls, two strikes to Pinto. Diaz didn't get in front of it, but he got the glove over for that hop in between. Not exactly how you would teach to play a ground ball, but watch how David Diaz, quick reflexes here on the in-between hop. That's 4 straight ground balls to Diaz. Flores. And chases after the drop ball, the outside corner. Rafa Flores down on strikes. Now will Sainz. Just his second strikeout of the game. Salgado hit a laser beam right at David Diaz back in the second. Cue shot on a foul here. Justin Van Horn wants to look at that, make sure it's not cut. That was a problem with the K-Masters a couple of years back, but depending on where the balls are manufactured, that doesn't seem to be an issue these days. Just off the outside corner. Haven't seen them come back cut the last couple of seasons. Signs will get the shoelaces tightened up. And this one is drilled out to center by Alan Salgado. Boy, he's hit the ball hard twice. Big clap of the hands, and he's aboard at first. Hand off some of the gear to Kevin Morgan. We'll bring up David Galino. Grounded out to third back in the second inning. Sorry, to Anoka, 3 unassisted is what I've got here. Then we got a pinch runner. Chase Konechny on to run for Salgado. Anoka tried to get there in a hurry to keep that one from going foul, but to no avail. He just reached across the line. You'll see it here. You'll get a great look at it. And you can see where the shadow is, just on the foul side of the line. Echeverris continues to warm up down the line and just missing off the outside corner. Konechny, really good wheels out at first. It was almost a pitch out there by Signs and Zera. Lifted out to left, going back, and able to haul that one in is Blaine Milheim. Galino gave it a ride, but Milheim there to track it down. A 2-out single to no avail here. Through 4 complete, it is still the Bear Creek Express 2, Northeast Drillers 1.
Watch the game change.
Juan David Diaz, and then back to the top of the shop for Teo Migliavaca. Bottom and the top haven't really been able to move the ball all that well against Carlos Parra. In fact, only a fly ball by Teo Migliavaca amongst the 3 of them. That's it. The middle of the order, Solorio and Noka. They've been able to get on base against the youngster. Big cut, comes up empty. Pinto a step or two behind the bag. Adames is deep at second. Galino, normal depth at short. Molander, same at third. Ty Sebastian emerges again from the third base dugout to go warm up. Parra really hasn't shown any signs of wavering. Drillers threatened in the second. They collected one, lost a runner in a rundown, and stranded Anoka at third. Rafa Flores was ready to fire it down to first and then had to spin around and throw some daggers at Justin Van Horn. That misses everybody. Zera. It's down to first as Flores gets the favorable bounce off the screen. And he'll complete the strikeout. Seven now on the game for young Mr. Parra. Pinch hitter here for David Diaz. It's Gonzalo Mosmo. He had some key hits for the Drillers last weekend. And a little surprised he's not in the lineup full time. He's a valuable guy to have off the bench. Liam Potts up as well for the Express as they've got a full bullpen on the go right now. Flores up out of the crouch and taking a bit of a walk around, and he's going to wave off Van Horn, and a stretch here by the veteran Flores. In for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Gonzalo Mosmo, pinch hitting here in the 5th. Drillers trying to get a base runner aboard for the top of the shop. Fouled off to the screen by Mosmo. Pinto, Galino. Pinto with a long visit over there. That could just about be counted as a defensive conference for the players. Parra zips in the rise ball and sits down Gonzalo Mosmo. He really dials this one up here. 80 on the rise ball. 8 strikeouts on the game. And now back to the top of the shop, Teo Migliavaca. Always played with the High Sox. Long look here at the signs from Parra. And now Migliavaca will get time at the plate. Goes to the changeup and short hops Flores. I'm sure that's exactly what he was looking for right there. Up and in. High drop there at 82. Sebastian and Potts still working down the left field line, but it was Para looking pretty good here so far. Teo Migliavaca. Thought that one was inside. Bless you. Just missed outside, so we'll run the count to full on Migliavaca. 2 down here in the 5th. There you see on pitch tracker. That was outside. Swing and a miss. Down goes Migliavaca. Striking out the side is Carlos Para here in the 5th. We'll go to the home half with the Express still hanging on to this 2-1 lead.
Welcome to Monthill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
Connor Molander will lead things off for the Bear Creek Express as we'll go to the home half of the 5th. Bear Creek 2 runs on a Ty Sebastian home run all the way back in the bottom of the 1st. Then in the top of the 2nd, Jordan Solorio came around on a wild pitch. That's been it. That's all the scoring in this one. Carlos Para and here Nowell Signs have been really good for their respective teams. That misses downstairs to Molander. Strike in the outside corner. Both bullpens are empty after having guys up the last couple of innings. One hopper out to Signs. He'll flip to Inoka for the leadoff out here in the bottom of the 5th. Yusuf Davis Yusuf grounded out to Diaz, who had to come get it and make the shovel pass, the glove flip. Thought about going, but managed to hold up, says third base umpire Dave Jackson. 2-0 to Davis, leading off here. Sorry, 1 out here in the fifth. Signs in with the strike. Make it 3-1 here on Davis. Team USA member. Yusuke Morita awaits on deck. And out to Diaz again. Doesn't need to do the shovel pass this time. And that's actually Gonzalo Masmu. So Masmu stays in the game for Diaz. So we're having some debate about how close we can get to the plate in the batter's box. Morita and Justin Van Horn are debating that one, and inside pitch gets called a strike for all the trouble. Try to go outside. They don't get the corner out there. And 3-1 to Yusuke Morita, as he has yet to offer after anything here. Had a notion to go after it, but ball four. They're going to ask. No, says Dave Jackson. So a 2-out walk to Morita, and that'll bring up Angel Adames. Reached on that hit that Signs deflected away from Zach Shaw. Well, Morita got way away from the base, but Zara blocked it, kept it in front of him, but couldn't get the handle to try and throw down to first. Hey, Adames is just full of P&V up there. He's got the high knee going. High hopper in the infield. Masmu turns, flips, and retires Adames, so that 2-out walk goes for naught. Boy, this game really has a lot of excitement. Other than some good defensive plays, you got to go all the way back to the first and second inning for the runs. It's been a tight pitcher's battle. Carlos Parra Jr. and now Signs locked up here. Still 2-1 Drillers, or for the Express rather. The Drillers coming up to the plate in the top of the 6th. They'll try to tie this one up. Zach Shaw, Blaine Milheim, Riley Macchia, 2-3-4 for the Drillers. Early is getting late for the Northeast squad. Here into the 6th, and you blink and suddenly you're down to your final 6 outs. Chases the rise ball upstairs for strike 1. Shaw down on strikes twice. Just the 3 hits for the Drillers. All of them in the first or second inning. He has kept the door pretty much nailed shut since then. Gave up a walk in the 4th. 9 strikeouts on the afternoon for Carlos Parra. He's got Shaw in a hole 0-2. And can't catch up the inside drop. Zach Shaw down on strikes for the 3rd time here this afternoon. Just had a ball come back in, and Rafa Flores wanted that one immediately. Sadly for Rafa, there is literally no way for any of us here to get that one to him through all of the iron. High hopper here to the fence. Milheim has one of those 3 hits. Kept the hands back on a changeup in the 1st and then grounded out to short, ending the 3rd. Misses downstairs. You just saw 83, so still into the 80s. Is Parra, as we are closing in on 6 p.m. Eastern Time. That hour buffer we had in the schedule is set to evaporate in 15 minutes. Chopper on the infield, and wisely they let it go foul down the line. Rafa Flores able to balance the bat on its end, have it waiting for Blaine Milheim. You saw the signs there from Justin Van Horn. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Milheim. Just off. Full count. 3-2. Drillers need some base runners here. Oh, what a great play by Para. Snags that hot shot that was destined up the middle off the bat of Blaine Milheim. And just as quick as he snagged that, he is rifling that over to Luigi Pinto. Good thing Pinto is in the neighborhood of the bag. Para not wasting any time getting the ball out of the glove and on its way over to first. Riley Macchia, ground out, strikeout. This guy is already in scoring position. In for a strike. But look at the pitch comp. Rise just off the outside corner. Good hitters count here for Riley Macchia. Drillers down to their final 4 outs. That got Justin Van Horn, the umpire. Rafa Flores missed it completely. Justin's laughing about it. Para is in just to check on Justin. He gets this one square. Crossed up Flores. Three and one. Again, a good hitter's count here for Macchia. And ball 4. So a 2-out walk for Macchia. We'll see if that gets a pinch runner from Ron Hackett. No sign at the moment. Jordan Solorio to the plate. That one misses off the plate and low for ball 1. Coming up, we've got a pair of playoff games at 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock, but your guess is as good as ours as to who it's going to be. We are waiting on some results here in this final cycle of the round-robin games. In for a strike. Outside, said Justin Van Horn. Two and one to Solorio. Lots of pop in the bat. Can't make a mistake to his countryman here. Macchia is still the runner at first. And make it 3-1 as missing off the plate. So again, falling behind the last couple of batters is Para. No action in the bullpen now for Bear Creek. Sebastian and Potts were both up earlier. And that one misses down and away, ball 4. And 2 straight 2-out walks. Tomanoka to the dish. And this will draw a visit from Paul Sebastian, the head coach for the Bear Creek Express. And the handshake, and he'll take the ball from Carlos Parra. And we're going to see Liam Potts emerge from the dugout. We're going to take a break, and we'll let Liam Potts get warmed up in just a minute. Liam Potts on in relief of Carlos Parra. And he's going to face Thomas Anoka right out of the box. These two see each other all the time down in New Zealand. So an interesting matchup. You go from the hard-throwing right-hander. Not that Liam Potts is soft-throwing by any means, but he's not going to threaten 80. He'll mix in the change, up, down, change, and rely on location. We'll see if the familiarity between Tommy Anoka and Liam Potts has any bearing here. 2 runners aboard. Pinch runner is now out at second. It's Gennaro Correa running at second base for Riley Macchia. That happened during this extended break, too. I don't know how many warm-up pitches he got, but certainly seemed like a lot. The results of this one are going to determine who goes where in the playoff round. Bear Creek Gremlins are a possibility for this diamond. The Drillers could be here if they were to rally and come back and win, but still waiting to see who we will have coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. First of 2 playoff games scheduled for this diamond. And they walk Tommy Anoka to face Rogelio Sequeira. So you don't have to throw 4 pitches anymore. You just put the 4 fingers up and the intentional walk to Anoka. That puts the force on at any base. In for a strike. Sequeira struck out swinging but reached on a wild pitch. and then got robbed. I mean, absolutely robbed of a base hit by Angel Adames. High hopper again. That's an easy play for Adames to make the grab and step on the bag out at second. So for all that drama, it only takes a couple of pitches for Liam Potts to work out of that jam in the sixth. Bear Creek Express still clinging to this 2-1 lead. Can they make it last? Well, we've got a couple more half innings to go.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
He's the man of the hour, Ty Sebastian, with a 2-run home run all the way back in the bottom of the first inning. That is the difference here this afternoon. First pitch, now Signs reaches up and snares that one hopper off the bat of Ty Sebastian for first out here, bottom of the sixth. Looking ahead to the top of the seventh for the Drillers. Juan Zera, Gonzo Masmu, and then back to the top of the shop, Teo Migliavaca. We'll see if that threesome has any more luck against Liam Potts. They're probably gladder than anybody to see the end of Carlos Parra. That's about a 38.5-footer from Signs to Luiger Pinto, and Juan Zara is like, I want nothing else to do with that ball. Tommy Anoka comes and gets it off the screen. Hearing maybe Hill United Chiefs coming up here on Diamond 2 is a possibility. So that likely is the 6 o'clock game. Well, let's say 6:45. If this one is over by then. Chiefs in Midland, it looks like. Well, even Luiger Pinto was surprised that that was ball 4. He had to be reminded, no, you get to go to first base now. Rafa Flores popped up and then down on strikes in the fourth. We'll get a pinch runner here for Luiger Pinto. Callum Bichel on to pinch run. That's a pretty good trade for Bear Creek. Bichel runs very well. Hopper on the infield, Masmu to first and out of the inning. Just like that, Gonzo Masmu makes the double play for the Northeast Drillers. They're down to their final 3. We'll go to the top of the 7th. Let's take another look at this one. Masmu, the easy tag. And the easy flip to first. All right, to the top of the seventh we go, and last call for the Northeast Drillers. Juan Zera, Gonzo Masmu, who just made that nice play on defense to get them out of the bottom of the sixth, and then Teo Migliavaca. They'll face Liam Potts on in relief of the starter, Carlos Parra. Seventh, yep. Did I say Migliavaca? Well, he's the third batter in the inning. Zera hits the bottom of it, a mile high, way over in foul territory, near the fence, and then into the fence. Galino went way over there in a foul territory to track that. It's a good thing Zera hit it 700 feet into the air. Watch Galino from the shortstop position. Out onto the grass, tracks this all the way across and makes the basket catch up against the fence. Some nice defense from David Galino. In for a strike from Potts. Masmu came on for Diaz in the fifth. Like I said, he had some really key hits for this Drillers team in Mitchell last week. Goes around here, says Mike Morrissey, and it's 0-2. Potts trying to shut the door in an inning and a third in relief. Called strike three, outside corner, framed up nicely by Rafa Flores. And we'll go to the top of the shop. Teo Migliavaca looking to get untracked here. Did not have a lot of success against Carlos Parra. Fly out and a couple of strikeouts, but see what happens here. Lefty on lefty. Curveball off the outside corner, ball one. Called a strike to that outside corner. 1-1 to Migliavacca. You saw the wry grin from Teo. Change up just over the head of David Galino, who went way up the ladder. So down to their final out, the Northeast Drillers stay alive. Boy, did Galino get some elevation trying to go after that. Zach Shaw, another guy happy to not see Carlos Parra out there. He goes after the first pitch and fouls that one out of play. Everybody crowding around here behind the scorekeepers and the PA announcers trying to get a glimpse at Liam Potts. In for a strike. The Drillers now down to their final strike. Oh, 0-2 from Potts. Setup is way outside, and reaching out to poke it out to right field is Zach Shaw. Just stuck the bat out and let the ball do the work. And there was nobody at second. Adames had to scamper over to second to cover the base. Shaw was halfway down the line. And you just see Zach Shaw stick the bat out, and this will draw a visit out to the circle from Paul Sebastian. Shaw will gather up with Milheim and Teo Migliavacca and Coach Ron Hackett. Riley Macchia will join the party. You're getting a look in the circle right now. We got a couple of groups across the infield. There's some more guys with Doug Eit outside the Drillers dugout on the first base side. So it'll be down to Blaine Milheim. Tying run just 60 feet away. In for a strike. Potts working ahead of Milheim. Migliavacca, really good wheels out at third. Anything that ricochets on a wild pitch or pass ball, he should be able to score to tie the game, if it comes to that. This one is down and blocked by Flores right on cue. One and one, two down. Runners on the corners. The go-ahead run is Zach Shaw out at first. Tying run Migliavacca at third. Change up and in. Advantage to Blaine Milheim now at 2-1. This ball game has found some life here in the seventh. In for a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And again, the Drillers down to their final strike in this one. Is it a dry well for the Drillers, or can they strike oil? Punched out to the gap, coming across, making the grab out in right field is Alan Salgado. Northeast Drillers give it a ride, did Blaine Milheim, but Salgado is on the spot. You can see him pull it in here. And Bear Creek Express, a nervy 2-1 win over the Northeast Drillers. We're going to head to the playoff round now that the round robin is complete. Stay tuned here on Softball Premier TV It's looking like it's going to be the Hill United Chiefs and the Midland Explorers set to come up probably in about 20-25 minutes. Stay with us here on Softball Premier TV. More of the Chiefs Challenge coming up.